North Attleboro Community Television, North TV Sports presents the High School Game of the Week. Today from North Attleboro High School, it's Boys Lacrosse, a Hockomock League non-divisional matchup. The Canton Bulldogs take on the North Attleboro Red Rocketeers. We are about 15 seconds into this one. Canton with the ball. A shot on net is wide. Canton will retain possession. The Bulldogs playing, or entering this game, I should say, with a 3-6 record. The Red Rocketeers are at 6-4, and Canton getting on the board first, wasting no time. Matt Lennon scoring the first goal for Canton. Here it is, Del Malloy, my partner this afternoon.
Yeah, Canton in the first half minute, they've controlled the pace of play, and it's interesting because they're a very young squad. 2 seniors on the team.
Yeah, 2 seniors, and those seniors are Matt Malloy. Any relation? That's the second game in a row we've done with a Malloy.
Depends on how well he plays.
And in the net, Devin Costa. Red Rocketeers, a number of seniors. Reed Holden tripped up on the play. That will draw our first penalty of this afternoon. For those of you who are not familiar with boys lacrosse, and I say boys lacrosse as opposed to just lacrosse, the boys game and the girls game are radically different. The boys game is a lot like hockey. They change on the fly. Penalties are assessed very similar to hockey, with players, instead of going into a penalty box, you go off the field, and Canton will now play shorthanded. So the Red Rocketeers on a power play. They will take their time. Canton sets up in a defensive position. Now, what is the goal here, Del?
Well, depends on what kind of attack North's going to use. You'll see some screening elements. You'll see some give and go. You just see some quick burst, backdoor plays. But what they're going to try to do is get a player in alone, one-on-one with the goalie if possible. And in most cases, try to get a screen on the goalie, like in hockey, so they don't get a clear look at the shot.
You saw Tyler Sellner with the shot that was saved by Devin Costa, the Canton goalie. And that ball off of, not sure if it was off of North Attleboro or off of Canton. Substitutions.
Yeah, there's quite a few substitutions in the game of boys lacrosse.
As many as hockey?
Not quite, but pretty down close. And it's depending on the weather and the intensity of the game. Towards the end, it does approach that of hockey.
Red Rocketeers retain possession. That shot is high. Now, what you will see, and I find this very interesting in the rules of hockey, the team taking the shot, if they miss the net, the ball goes out of bounds, but team gaining possession is the team who had a man, as I understand it, a man closest to the end line.
That's correct, closest to the ball. And the rationale is they really don't want to have boundaries, but since they do, to keep it from running in the woods, they give it to whoever they thought would have reached it first.
The game would be a lot quicker if they had to go chase it into the woods.
And up until a few years ago, on the girls' side of lacrosse, there were no boundaries. They played the natural lay of the land.
Really?
Yeah.
Very difficult when you're playing at a place like Bishop Fion's McGrath Stadium with the track and fencing around. That game could be very short.
Yes. Well, so far an offensive battle. Although we've only seen one goal, the offenses seem to be stronger than the defenses at this point. North's got a couple of shots on goal, but they're keeping the ball down their end for an extended period of time.
We mentioned earlier that Canton, with only 2 seniors, Red Rocketeers, by far the veteran team, and there's a veteran play by David Lang, who will score North Attleboro's first goal. And a nice rush after a real nice pass, setting him up.
Yeah, he made a nice fake to get by the defender. Then it's not much the goalie can do.
So we are tied up at 1, the face-off at the center of the field. Teams fighting for possession. Canton will come away with it. That's Tom Galvin. Galvin is only a freshman. Big kid.
Sure is.
Feel like I'm at Fenway Park, obstructed view seating here.
Yeah. Yep.
Tell you, these parents line right up on the line.
I'm surprised. We see it at a lot of the fields that they don't have an additional line on the sideline, which is the clear zone, because these players running out of bounds or a shot coming over here, they're not getting out of the way.
I'm looking at my diagram here. They have 6 yards around the perimeter, or excuse me, on both sides, the limit line.
Yep.
Which would, people would be limited from sitting that closely, and more for their own safety than anything else.
Yes.
Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with boys lacrosse, sticks, various sizes. There's a shot on goal. J.C. Marconi connects for Canton, and they lead by a score of 2-1. Canton not getting as many opportunities as North Attleboro, but they are 2 for 2 with the ball down that end of the field.
They have a nice attack. They're spreading the field nicely. They've got someone behind. They're cutting. They're slashing. They're causing the North defense to work a bit hard. So a safety concern you'll notice on both ends of the field is young men sitting behind the goal. It's a good distance, but they're ball retrievers pretty much. In the college game, no one would be allowed back there.
Just too dangerous, huh?
Yeah, the ball's coming so fast.
Boy, an impressive goal there by Pat Ward, one of the juniors on this Canton team. And Canton jumps out to a 3-0 lead. And you could see the pass from Matt Malloy. And Ward finding the back of the open net. So 3-1, Canton on top, and North Attleboro wants a timeout.
Yeah. A good timeout, and I'm convinced after watching Matt Malloy play, he must be a relative.
Well, I have one question after seeing the first few minutes of this game. How is Canton only 3-6?
They must play in a tough division.
I'm not sure about that. The two teams play pretty much the same schedule. What it could be is a matter of a very young team, and now we're entering pretty much the second half of the season, and you get to this point, a freshman is more like a sophomore, junior, and so on. Where a senior's already got his thoughts on college.
Yeah, and or the prom.
One of the moms from North Attleboro giving me a copy, numerically I might add, of the North Attleboro roster.
Perfect. And legible.
Unlike my writing. Which actually we did pretty good, considering.
Yep.
So North Attleboro down 3-1. This is a very big game for the Red Rocketeers. They are 6-4 on the season. To qualify for MIAA state tournament play, they need to finish either first or second in the Kelly Rex division of the Hockomock League, or finish with a 500 record. And a 7-4 mark would leave them plenty of a cushion during the second half of the season. North Attleboro with possession. That's Tyler Zarambovich, number 12. Gave it up to Brian Sieber, one of the captains for the Red Rocketeers. Reed Holden, oh, nice save. Yeah. Scooped up nicely by Cody Moreau. Red Rocketeers doing a nice job of working the ball around, but so far, very impressed with Devin Costa in net for the Bulldogs.
Well, he's getting good looks. The North shots are coming from far out, and I think one of the reasons is there's not as many passes in the North attack as there are carries, where you saw Canton scoring off passes. You pass the ball faster than you can run with it, and that makes the defense move.
You saw Tyler Sellner knocked to the turf here by Nick O'Connor. That's perfectly legal. Now, on the girls' side, that would be a no-no.
It would be.
They play with no helmets. They don't even have the. They have the gloves? No, they don't even have the gloves.
No, I think they'll have the face mask, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they have the goggles that they
Yep.
wear. Goggles and a mouthpiece.
Yeah. And there's been some talk of putting the helmet in, but the traditionalists on the women's side, and I tend to agree with them, say you put the helmet in, they'll hit in the head.
Mm.
And I've watched girls at the high school level and women at the college level play for years. I don't recall seeing any kind of serious head injury whatsoever. And I've probably seen 200 contests. So they respect each other, and the officials call it tight.
Substitutions for both sides as North Attleboro trying to move it up court. Here they come close to the parents right in front of us. What was that called, Del? I did not catch it.
Push someone who didn't have the ball.
So in hockey, that would be interference.
Yep.
Which in hockey, you'd be going off for 2 minutes, depending on the severity.
Yeah.
Nice attack by David Lang. Lang will now give it up to Sean Young. Young is a freshman playing varsity for the Red Rocketeers. Young, a long-range shot that's gathered in nicely by Devin Costa. And immediately attacking is Canton.
And you saw the pass from Lang, and the freshman took it right back to where Lang was. So the defense didn't have to change. The offense changed for them. It was very easy for them to cover that play.
So much like basketball, these teams are running set plays.
Yes. And some run call sets, others run a motion concept.
Now you can see, at least here in the first half of the first quarter, Canton is not content to take the long-range shot. They're trying to work it in. Oh, what a spin move and a goal. Oh, that was nifty. Paul Swart, a freshman for the Canton Bulldogs. Check this one out.
And pay attention to the fact there are no North defenders in the middle close to the goal. Canton pulled the defense out by extending their zone and freed up the whole middle. Now it was a one-on-one attack. Great play. Look at no one there.
Boy, that was highlight reel material. I'll say it again. How is Canton only 3-6 on the season?
Maybe they perform better on television.
Woo. Their coach, Bill Bendel, will be calling us to televise every game the way they're playing right now. Red Rocketeers with possession, trailing 4-1, desperately in need of a goal here. Players trying to scoop the ball up. Finally able to do so. Rich knee. Pass up ahead to Eric Wong. Wong. Little attack. Extra pass to Pat Ward. It's 5-1.
And that's like a three-player fast break. They had someone on the left lane, someone on the right lane, bring the ball to the middle and hit the open guy, and it's pretty easy and well coached.
I can't believe how unselfish Canton has been here in the early going.
That's what it takes.
So let's see if the Red Rocketeers, now trailing by 4, can get something going. Face-off won by the Bulldogs.
And it's important to keep in mind, too, a 4-goal lead in lacrosse is nothing.
No, I agree. In traffic, losing the ball, Brian Sieber. And North Attleboro, after the whistle, will retain possession. Red Rocketeers mishandling the connection between two players. Coming away with it for Canton is Ben Lodge. Now, we saw there, Dell, one of the Red Rocketeers, Dave Lang, swinging his stick, making contact at the Canton player. When is it illegal?
Well, if the player doesn't have a ball, it's illegal, and if there's an intent to injure, if there's an intent to play the ball or throw the, make you adjust your stick, that's fine. If you're going after someone, it's pretty clear.
Paul Powell on the attack for North Attleboro. Pass inside to Brian Sieber, who was denied by Devin Costa.
And that was a great save.
Back comes Canton. Eric Wong passes it far side to Matt Malloy. Malloy, who already has an assist, maybe more. Pass a little bit too high, being chased over on the near sideline. Kept in. Bulldogs come away with it. Nice play defensively by George Barth, number 2 for the Red Rocketeers, but Canton will get the ball back. Canton total domination in this game so far.
Yeah. You made mention of it earlier, Peter, when you said they were unselfish in passing the ball. That's the key to this attack right now. Spread the defense, use one another effectively, and they're doing just that.
Tough pass that David Lang able to gather in. Lang spinning, lost the handle.
Yeah.
Able to come up with it for the Red Rocketeers. The freshman Sean Young pass to Reed Holden. An additional pass to Dave Lang. Lang the spin move. Once again blocked by Devin Costa. Deflected wide of the goal. Now the defenders have the much longer sticks, Dell, and we started to touch upon this earlier.
Yeah.
Better hand-eye coordination needed with those than the shorter sticks, or does it make a difference?
I don't think it matters. I mean, they get used to it.
You and I, it would be impossible.
It might be. Any stick would make it a challenge. Okay. Wait for that pass to set this thing in motion. Okay. They've got to be more patient. They're trying to thread it in there now. That's what happens when you score 4.
That one blocked nicely by the Red Rocketeers. Colton Williamson, number 7, one of the seniors on this North Attleboro team. One of the captains, I might add, co-captain along with Brian Sieber. End of first quarter play, all Canton. The Bulldogs on top 5-1. We'll be back. Second quarter action. You're watching Boys Lacrosse, Red Rocketeers, Bulldogs on North TV.
Have you ever wondered how your town's government operates? Do you know how the local boards work? Inside Your Government on North TV answers those questions and more by taking a deeper look into the daily, weekly, and yearly workings of the people and boards that make up North Attleboro town government. From RTM to the State House, we cover it all. Inside Your Government on North TV's Community Channel Comcast 15 and Verizon 24, and on the Government Channel Comcast 98 and Verizon 23. North TV, bringing the community into your home.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
Close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly. 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
There's a shot of the parents. Actually, there I am with the wave, but there's a shot of the parents. Hey, that's strange. When I move, it's like a fraction of a second behind.
Yeah. Is that the technology, or is that the speed of your reflexes?
That's, I think, both. More the speed of my reflexes than anything else. So the two teams, like football, switch sides. North will now be going right to left. Canton will be going left to right. And North hoping it's the left goal that might be a little bit bigger than the other goal. Loose ball, nobody can find it. Finally able to come away with it is James Cummer for the Red Rocketeers. Gives it up to Brian Sieber. Back to Cummer, nice little give and go. Oh, capped out was Barth, but they could not connect on the pass. That would have been a sure goal.
Yeah, that was close. That's the kind of attack they need. They had someone go into the net. You know, we talked about the long sticks. Another value of the long stick is your ability to check the offensive player from a greater distance and being right on top of them with the short stick. And as you know, in the long drive contest in golf, they use oversized drivers to get that distance. Same thing with the long sticks. Conceivably, they can pass the ball further down the field.
And there was an interesting play. The Canton player took the long pass from his goalie. The defender knocked him out of bounds, and therefore it was a turnover. Now that's similar to basketball, except in basketball you can't force the player out like that.
Nope. Not physically.
Well, you can, depending on who's officiating.
Yeah. Just as Rondo.
Canton on top, 5-1. Red Rocketeers desperately in need of the goal. They get it. Brian Sieber. Off of a nice feed. Sieber camped out on the back doorstep, took the pass, you see, from David Lang, and it's 5-1. 5-2, excuse me.
A little bit of Canton's medicine thrown right back at them. You might have something. Maybe it is that goal.
Yeah. I just said that, but it was Sieber, right? Between the time it took me to write down some other information, I second-guessed myself, but it was Brian Sieber off of the feed from David Lang. 5-2, Canton on top, but momentum starting to shift North Attleboro's way, and as Dell mentioned in the first quarter, a 4-goal lead in lacrosse is not an insurmountable lead. The key, if you're Canton, is to answer that, and they will not, because able to make the save from close range was Colton Williamson. Canton looked like they needed one more pass that time, Dell.
Yeah, I believe they did. And we saw it towards the very end of the first quarter. They weren't passing as sharply as they were earlier. Don't know if they got a little complacent or North picked up the D. Like to think it was the latter.
So North once again in the attack zone. Trailing now by 3. James Cummer hits a cutting Cody Moreau, unable to connect, but North Attleboro will get possession back.
Yeah, that was a nice curl cut. So it's an easy passing angle and it curls you right into the goal, so you got momentum, a little torque behind that shot.
Back to live action, Sieber. Pass will be scooped up by James Cummer. Cummer, pass, young shot is too high, but North Attleboro will gain possession. Now when the ball is in the circle, the crease, which is 9 feet in radius, you are not allowed to even touch it, correctly? Or correct?
Well, if it's laying there, you can touch it, but if the goalie's got the stick on it, leave him alone.
So you can reach in and try to grab it.
Sure. Like if the goalie had fallen down on the other side, you're allowed to pick it up and score, but they try to protect the goalies a bit.
Tell you, if you were in goal, and I noticed the majority of the shots, there's a case where they are allowed to fight the goalie for possession. Canton, nice little move. Shot once again blocked by Williamson. Some of the parents next to us saying, come on, guys, there's 3 guys there.
Yep.
Looked like Williamson was covering them, or had to cover them all by himself.
I think the North goalie has played a pretty darn good game so far.
Yeah, the goals that he did give up.
He had no chance.
No chance at all. But the strategy is to shoot low on a keeper. And I'll tell you, with no shin pads or anything, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, I know there's talk. I asked my college coach what he looked for in a goalie. I said, someone without a lot of protective gear. I know he's a tough guy. That appears to be the case in both goalmouths today.
I mean, they must come home at times with bruises.
Yeah.
So Canton with the 5-2 lead. And it's been a while now since Canton, which scored a bunch of goals in the first quarter, has been able to sneak one past Colton Williamson. So the Red Rocketeers trying to chip away at that 4-goal lead. They've been able to get one back. Time of possession certainly well in favor of the Red Rocketeers.
Yeah. But the ball isn't moving with too much speed.
There's a shot that was initially saved by Devin Costa, but the rebound knocked into the Canton net. And now it's a 5-3 game. Number 2, George Barth. And it's 5-3 there. Yeah, there's a shot of Barth. Much like hockey, when the goalie makes that initial save, the defense needs to get there to clear the puck, something that cost the Bruins a loss in Game 7 in overtime. And in that case, the initial save was made by Devin Costa, but no one there to clear the ball.
Yeah, you know, and when you see the North attack players in close to the goal, defensively, Canton's got to be saying to themselves, we get it, we transition. It's going to be clear sailing till we get to our offensive attack zone. So there's added incentive, not just stop the goal, the rebound, but to launch our own attack without much opposition in the midfield area.
So Canton coach Bill Bendel uses a timeout. Kevin Young, the North Attleboro coach, in his second season had used a timeout in the first quarter. The Bulldogs trying to slow down now this North Attleboro attack.
Yeah, you know, Canton's got such a young team too. They're relying on him to control the tempo when he can and just give him that mental breath of fresh air and give them a pat on the back, keep them going. At this point in the season, they know how to play, but sometimes they need to regroup.
Canton wins the face-off, but an errant pass cannot be gathered in by Matt Malloy, and the Bulldogs turn the ball over. Bulldogs with possession again. Kurt Levitt gave it up, gets it back. J.C. Marconi and Levitt playing catch now with it for the Bulldogs. Nick O'Connor back to Levitt.
But see, in this case, they've made 6, 7 passes and the ball hasn't changed sides of the field yet, so the defense isn't moving.
Here goes a good opportunity. Shot results in a goal. Number 23, Nick O'Connor, gets one of those goals back off of a real nice feed by J.C. Marconi. Marconi from behind the Red Rocketeer net, the pass, and then that one just getting by Colton Williamson.
And after having moved that defense from being on one side, switch it over, pull it back out, and go attack. So you got the defense moving on all the dimensions.
They were trying to lull them to sleep, though.
Absolutely. But a lot of people think move the defense side to side. Well, in this sport and in many others, it's side to side and front to back too. There's 4 dimensions to moving that defense. Moving that defense, and that's when the openings develop.
Reed Holden, a goal. So North Attleboro wastes little time in getting that one back at 6-4. You had the violation on the face-off, and Holden took full advantage.
Again, a key goal for North. If Canton got the next goal, there goes momentum, but North didn't let that happen.
So 6-4, which ironically is North Attleboro's record, in case you just joined us. 6 wins, 4 losses. Canton, almost the opposite at 3-6. Reed Holden looking, gives it up to Tyler Sellner. Sellner back to Holden as players begin setting picks for each other, trying to cut across the attack area. Sean Young, pass to Brian Sieber, to Holden. Holden gets a pick from Sellner, looking for some operating room. Will find it, attacks as a couple of teammates there, but the ball knocked out of his stick. With it now, Brian Sieber. Sieber, pass, taking it behind the net, Tyler Zarambovich. Out front, Red Rocketeers had a nice opportunity, but Tyler Sellner unable to hold on.
Yeah, they did. That was a nice sequence for them. They didn't score, but they were passing better. It started off moving with it, but then they went to the passing game. That's the key, I believe.
This looks like one of those sports, and I guess it could be true of all sports, but this sport especially, much more fun to play than watch.
Yeah.
I guess that would be the case for field hockey as well.
Yeah.
Shot wide by Kurt Levitt.
Tennis.
Tennis. Actually, I enjoy Wimbledon, the U.S. Open, when you get a real good match.
Well, I sat at 5 hours of tennis Saturday, and I wish I was on the court.
Right in front of us, knocked down was George Barth, able to get a pass away, but into the hands of Nick O'Connor, number 23 for the Bulldogs. O'Connor is a junior, scored the last goal for Canton, the 6th goal, as the Bulldogs on top 6-4. There's a trip.
Yep.
That will be called, certainly inadvertent.
Yeah.
So there will be no penalty, but there will be a violation. Now, if that had been deemed an intentional trip, Red Rocketeers would be shorthanded right now. And does that shorthanded player have to come from the defensive zone, or where's the attack zone, or wherever
it's
that
the
player?
violator.
Okay. Because at all times, teams have to keep 4 players on one half of the field, and one of those players would include the goalie.
Yeah, and you'll see sometimes when you're down 1 or 2 as time's expiring, you'll see them shift an additional attack player up, move the goalie up to midfield.
So I guess it would be you have to keep 3 players in the wing area. No, not the wing area, whatever that middle, the gray section is on my little diagram here that I've been using as a cheat sheet. Wing area is where the wings go on the face-off.
Yep.
2 minutes left in the first half. North trailing 6-4. Here comes an opportunity for Canton. Shot right off the mask of Colton Williamson. Thank goodness he was wearing one.
Yes.
No, I can't remember the girls. Do the keepers wear masks?
They do.
Yeah, good thing. And timeout. Colton Williamson very fortunate to be wearing the headgear on the last shot by Canton. I'm not sure who called timeout here. My guess would be it was the Bulldogs since they had possession. Here's that shot, Dell. And you'll see it right off the face mask of Colton Williamson.
Wow.
Ouch.
Wow. Thankfully, you don't take too many shots like that.
This is a busy week for us as far as lacrosse is concerned. We have 3 games this week. Today's game, boys, Canton at North. We will be back here on Wednesday for girls lacrosse, Foxborough at North. Another interdivisional game within the Hockomock League. And then Thursday, we will be at Bishop Feion, the football practice field, where the girls play their home games as they play host to non-league Uponiquet.
Yeah. Just sounds funny, doesn't it? You're going to play your game on a field called the practice field.
Well, from what I've been told, the girls coaching staff at Feion, the players, consider that their home field and they embrace it.
Yeah.
Now, they do play games from time to time at McGrath Stadium. And next year, we'll play the majority of their games at McGrath Stadium because Bishop Feion High School will be installing artificial turf this summer.
Great move.
It's all those sizable donations that I made. Those $5 checks add up, you know.
They do. Well, it's, you know, when turf fields or synthetic fields first came out, they were considered a luxury, and certainly all the D1 schools and the major high schools had it. But now it just makes sense. It's a cleaner game. You don't have as many rainouts. They're easy to maintain. They look good.
Williamson, another big save. Williamson at this point is keeping the Red Rocketeers in this game.
Yeah, he's done well.
Loose ball out front. And we're going to have a push. Canton will get possession. Can see getting very physical, and you'll see the push coming up right there.
Yeah.
It will be on George Barth. So Canton with possession, which actually that was not a bad violation on Barth's part.
No.
Because if Canton comes up with possession there, Williamson was fighting for the ball as well, and Canton would have probably had a goal, but being called for the push, that went off the post. Being called for the push, North gave up possession, but Canton had to take possession behind the Red Rocketeer goal. Back comes North Attleboro. Seems like a while since they've been down this end of the field, and scoring is Dave Lang, his second goal, and all of a sudden it's a 1-goal game. Lang coast to coast with that one.
Yeah, nice shot. And we've got ourselves a 1-goal game, Peter.
Unbelievable. And with 3 seconds left, North. Well, in baseball, it would have been defensive indifference, and that's kind of what it was there. 6-5 is our score. Comments from Dell after this.
North TV is proud to present the Ask Gilby Show, an engaging opportunity for young learners to practice those early learning concepts, such as number and letter names, colors and shapes recognition. The show's producers have designed Ask Gilby to connect early learning concepts and at-home activities to pre-kindergarten state standards. The Ask Gilby Show, mornings on North TV's Education Channel, Comcast Channel 9, and Verizon Channel 22. North TV, bringing the community into your home. Veterans Forum on North TV, the monthly show dedicated to spotlighting what's going on in the lives of those who have served in the United States Armed Forces. Join American Legion Post 49 as they keep you up to date with news, information, and opportunities regarding the veterans of North Attleboro. Veterans Forum, only on North TV's Community Channel, Comcast Channel 15, and Verizon Channel 24. North TV, bringing the community into your home.
Welcome back, everyone. Our score 6-5. Canton had jumped out to a 5-1 lead, but North Attleboro fighting back. David Lang, the first goal for the Ricketeers. Brian Sieber, the second. George Barth, the third. Reed Holden, the fourth goal, and then Lang scoring just before the end of the half with seconds remaining. His second goal for the 5 goals. For Canton, Pat Ward has 2, J.C. Marconi has 1, Nick O'Connor has 1, Matt Lennon 1, and Paul Swart with 1. Dell, your thoughts?
Well, I thought the game started off in Canton's favor. They ran a beautiful offense. North wasn't able to defend it, and then all of a sudden the tide turned. Looked like just before the end of the first period, and certainly through most of the second period, North took charge on both ends of the field. Little spurts from Canton, but not enough to hold off North, and we've got a 1-goal game.
Will the Red Rocketeers improve to 7-4, or will the Bulldogs win their 4th against 6 losses? We'll find out the final 24 minutes after this.
North TV is privileged to present Mrs. Imagination's Treehouse. The 4-time international award-winning program has had wonderful success for the past 8 years on Massachusetts local television stations, an educational-based program full of stories and imaginary adventure. With its wide literary range and extravagant setting, this local program will delight the eyes and mind of your toddler. Mornings on North TV's Education Channel, Comcast Channel 9, and Verizon Channel 22. North TV, bringing the community into your home.
We are ready to go. Second half action, 6-5. Canton on top. Bulldogs at 1 point, leading 5-1. And we have a delay over on the far side. And I think the timekeeper is not back, possibly. In net this afternoon, Colton Williamson for the Red Rocketeers. He has played the role of a middle reliever or a long reliever. His team falling behind 5-1. He gave up those 5 goals, but many of them you could certainly not point to him and say, "Oh, that was his fault."
That's true.
And then, much like a reliever who comes in the third inning with his team down 7-0, goal is to keep the other team off the board while your team chips away, and that's exactly what Williamson has been able to do. Canton comes away with it. Matt Lennon comes in and scores. What a nice job faking the shot and then firing. And one of the Red Rocketeers shaken up on the play. And it was, I believe, number 11, Chris Lombardo. Let's see here. Keep an eye on number 11. Might have been like a knee-to-knee contact.
Yeah. I know as a coach, I could handle defeats. The two things I just really didn't have a good time with was injured student athletes and having to tell someone they were going to be cut from the team.
Years ago when I was coaching at North Attleboro, that second year, because I came in midway through the season the first year. Never easy to do as a coach, by the way.
Yeah.
That second year I had cuts and had to cut some of the freshmen because golf has no JV team. It has no freshman team. I cut the kids and they were totally crushed. Third year I was the coach. I did not cut, and one of the reasons I did not cut was one of the requirements here at North Attleboro is you either play in a certain percentage of matches or you're a member of the team all 4 years. Well, with no freshman JV team, there's a goal. North Attleboro once again answers Dave Lang his third goal, gives him the hat trick and his second consecutive goal. He scored goals 5 and 6.
Yeah, as an administrator in college, I insisted that when my coaches were going to cut, first they sat with me so I knew what was going on, and then they called each individual in and explained it face to face and gave them pointers to improve in case they wanted to try out in the future.
I just thought it was very unfair that if you limit your team to 12, well, freshmen are never going to make the team, and if they are unfortunate come senior year to have a couple of outstanding golfers come up, they'd never get a chance to get their letter, while other sports who do not cut, you can simply, you could be one of the worst athletes in the world, but get your letter because you were there all 4 years.
That's so true.
Don't you find that over the years, though, the value and the meaning of a letterman has diminished?
Yeah. Oh, completely. What I'm finding, unfortunately, is the prestige of being a high school athlete is somehow taking second fiddle to being on an AAU team.
Oh, don't get me started on that. Canton answers right back. Nice pass. Ben Lodge cutting to the net. And the Bulldogs once again make it a 2-goal game at 8-6. I have been very, very impressed with the passing by this Canton team.
Oh, they cut well and they pass well, and very hard to defend.
Now, is there AAU lacrosse that you know of?
They don't call it AAU, but I'm going to use the wrong word, but they have experience of something to select teams in football, soccer.
Well, here comes a slashing call against the Bulldogs. You could hear the contact to the helmet. And the ensuing shot by Tyler Zarambovich. So the Red Rocketeers will have the power play. North, nice job moving the ball. That one off the crossbar. Kept in. Red Rocketeers gather it in. Brian Sieber. North ready to attack again. Shot! A goal by Dave Lang, his 4th. And North, the power play goal, back to within 1.
You know, it's interesting on the power play, they're moving the ball around much better than they do in their set offense. They've got to transfer some of the power play skills to their set offense, and we could see a whole different attack here.
So 8-7. We are in the early stages of the 3rd quarter. Lang with it again. Hey, one thing. David makes the most of his shots.
He sure does.
Back comes Kurt Levitt. Pass to J.C. Marconi. Back to Levitt. And the Canton offense sets up. Levitt spin move. Wide of the net, and Canton will keep possession because their player closest to the ball. This next goal, huge in this game.
I believe you're right, and there it is.
Number 23, Nick O'Connor scores his 2nd goal. And it's 9-7. We saw a lot of goals in the 1st quarter, and we're seeing quite a few here in the 3rd quarter as well.
Yeah. I like the spin moves the Canton attack players are using. It's almost like playing the screen in basketball. If the player gets out ahead of you, just reverse it and come back. And they're using that attack effectively.
How difficult is it to keep possession while spinning through?
Pretty simple. If you've made sure the defender is out ahead of you, then you're actually, it's easier than if you kept going forward. But you need peripheral vision. You don't want to spin into another attacker.
How about Eric Wong for Canton? Was able to sneak through a triple team. That set up an odd man advantage for the Bulldogs, who are unable to put it into the back of the net. So North comes back trailing by 2, 9-7. With it for the Red Rocketeers, Nick Allen. Allen, number 14, able to get possession back. Pass to Reed Holden, long range shot, a little bit too long. Pulled in by Devin Costa. Big collision over on the far side, no call made.
Well, we just talked about peripheral vision. You got to know where they're coming from.
Canton player lost his stick. Here's that hit, Dell.
Yeah. Now watch where the offensive player's body is facing.
Well, we do not have that replay. There's a shot once again, pulled in and then deflected in by Tyler Zarambovich. And Canton is arguing that Devin Costa had possession. Well, it looked like he was about to gain possession.
Yeah, officials will talk it over. And
Canton coach Bill Bendel wants an explanation. I wasn't looking at the replay at the time, but Devin Costa tried to gather it in, could not, then was reaching out, looked like he was about to grab it, but did not have possession according to the officials, and that's when it was slapped in by Zarembovic. So 9-8. Here's the replay. Now there's the initial shot. Deflected.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That was in his stick. I don't know if we could look at that one more time and really slow it down. That was knocked out of his stick and into the net. See, slow it right there. See, right there, it's in his stick.
Yeah.
And his stick was actually knocked back. That should not have been a goal. So the Red Rocketeers the benefit of a bad call by the officials, and it's 9-8. Am I interpreting that correctly, Del?
But it happened so quick.
That's why many sports have replay. I was watching the Philadelphia Flyers Game 1 victory over the New Jersey Devils, and what would have been the winning goal for Philadelphia was waved off because the puck was kicked into the net. They went to the replay. There's a save made by Colton Williamson. Pass up ahead, stolen away. Matt Lennon unable to keep possession, however, and Red Rocketeers trying to send it into their attack zone, could not. Back comes Canton, shot just wide, deflected by Williamson. Pass downfield, fought for, and once again, Canton comes away with it. North going for those long passes, Del, and not connecting on them.
No.
Not sure if that was a shot or a pass. If it was a shot, it was wide.
Nice pace to the game in this third period.
There's that long pass that we're talking about. And really, like a quarterback throwing into double coverage every time.
It's in the air too long. And you have to have a player cut back to it. It's much more effective if someone on this side of the field cuts back and gets it, and then you spring another one long.
Williamson, yet another save. North on top, 9-8. Nick O'Connor. Nice pass to Tom Galvin. Galvin defended on the play by the Red Rocketeers' Paul Powell. Gives it up to Brian Hagan. Hagan will slow things down, wait for Paul Swart, who scored the 4th goal of the game for Canton. Swart attacks. That bounced a little bit too high. Bounced over Williamson and the net.
Canton's pulled the North defense out so far that there's quite a bit more open space in the middle. You notice on the other end, North is playing inside that circle the whole time, and it's condensed.
Well, Canton, with opportunity after opportunity, finally takes advantage, scoring J.C. Marconi his 2nd goal. And Canton now on top, 10-8. Tell you, the Bulldogs just keep answering every time the Red Rocketeers score a goal, and that's all you need to do.
You know, you remarked how do they have a losing record? I'm dying to ask the coach at the end of the game after what we're seeing here. Maybe it's all coming together late, or they played the tougher teams earlier in the year.
Reed Holden comes away with the loose ball for the Red Rocketeer. Pass. Oh, what a save by Costa! Holden again. Little spin move, pass. Shot by, I believe it was Cody Moreau, partially deflected. Actually, I think his stick was hit as he was going to take the shot, so he could get nothing on it.
That was a nice give and go, similar to what you'd see in basketball.
Holden through traffic, shot is wide. Red Rocketeers will retain possession.
That time they ran a double screen. So you're seeing a lot of similar skills. And put it together into an attack.
Holden, pass. Little backward shot by Brian Sieber. Nice try there.
Yeah.
You know, if you're Canton, you've got to wonder how much longer. Oh, there's a big check. And the call, I think, is that Sellner never had possession.
Exactly.
But boy, that was a big hit right in front of us. Look at this one.
And it's bigger when you don't expect it to. There was no reason for him to feel like he was going to get hit.
Young. Pass. Once again blocked by Costa, excuse me. That one off the post. Say it, Red Rocketeers have done everything but score. And a violation on the Red Rocketeers, so Canton will get possession. 2 minutes left in this third quarter. North trailing by 2, 10-8. Bulldogs long range shot, and North Attleboro will get possession. Red Rocketeers once again with the long pass that's stolen away by the Bulldogs. Oh, there's a turnover. But the Red Rocketeers unable to grab possession. Ball still loose. North will come away with it, trailing by 2 goals. About a minute left here in the third quarter. The turnover, and Canton will get possession back. Canton Bulldogs, 3 wins, 6 losses. Playing out of the Davenport division of the Hockomock League. North Attleboro at 6 wins, 4 losses. Kelly Rex division. Kelly Rex, the large school division. Davenport, the small school division. Matt Malloy. Pass, a second pass, and scoring Tom Galvin, his first goal. And Canton back up to a 3-goal lead at 11-8 with seconds remaining in the third quarter. And if the Red Rocketeers aren't careful here, they're going to find themselves in a hole that they might not be able to dig out of.
Yeah. Well, this has been a very spirited third period. I can't wait to see the fourth period. If the intensity picks up, we're in store for a great performance.
Oh, Canton wasting no time, scores again, and it's suddenly a 4-goal game. Kurt Levitt, his first goal of the game. He's been involved in a lot of the scoring. Canton winning the face-off and immediately attacking. As Del Malloy battles our banner, which is blowing in the wind here.
The banner's winning.
The wind is winning. "21 seconds left?" Or was the assist by number 21? I think they're saying 21 seconds left. Well, let's see how close that would be. I've got about 10 left. Yeah, it was 21 seconds. An impressive third quarter by the Canton Bulldogs. They score 5 times, Red Rocketeers score 3 times, and Canton now with 11 will make that 12-8 lead.
Whether you have a child or loved one in the school system or a concerned taxpayer looking for the latest information, North TV's coverage of school committee meetings provides you with the latest information on the North school system. With its live broadcasting and timely, repeated playback, we make sure you never miss a meeting. North TV's coverage of local school committee meetings on the educational channel Comcast Channel 9 and Verizon Channel 22. North TV, bringing the community into your home. Sports View. Get the inside story on all the teams competing in the area. That's Sports View. Meet the players and coaches that make North Attleboro the sports hotbed in the area. That's Sports View. Join Jason Arundale for this unique look into local sports. That's Sports View. Only on North TV's community channel, Comcast 15 and Verizon 24.
So 12 minutes left. North Attleboro trailing Canton, score of 12-8. And as a coach, Del, you're not supposed to do it, but then again, there's nothing wrong with it. You reach a certain part of the season, and now in the second half of the season, the goal is to get to the state tournament. You start to look ahead at the schedule. Okay, this is a game we should win. This is a game we should win. If we win these, we'll be in. I would think when Kevin Young was looking at his schedule, playing a 3-6 team, he was thinking, okay, that will be win number 7.
Probably, and he would think that unless he saw Canton play. I'm still at a loss to understand how they've got a losing record. But you're right, coaches do play that game.
So Canton with possession to start out fourth quarter play. Much like football, whichever team had possession at the end of the quarter starts out with possession to start the fourth quarter. And there's a goal. I thought it might have been off the side of the net, but it is indeed a goal by Pat Ward. That will be his third goal. And North Attleboro now facing its biggest deficit of the afternoon, a 5-goal hole.
Yeah, it gets tough now because you're not only fighting the score but the clock, and Canton doesn't need to be in a hurry right now.
At what point will they really start to, I don't want to say take the air out of the ball because there is no air, but really try to slow things down?
5-goal lead, I'd say 5 minutes.
Now, although that took some time, the clock did not start until one team gained possession, which North Attleboro did.
Yep.
Red Rocketeers desperately needing a goal. Fanning on the pass was Brian Sieber. Pass fought for, or the ball fought for. Sieber able to come away with it. Had it checked out of his stick. Sean Young, 32 with it, brings it to the corner, pass out front. Pass too high. And the push from behind will result in a North Attleboro ball. But Canton has already killed one of the 12 minutes.
Oh yeah, they're happy right now. The ball's yards away from the goal with no immediate threat.
And delay of game will be called. A 30-second penalty delay of game will be called on Eric Wong. Now the official was telling him back up another yard, another yard. He wasn't doing so. Now the clock wasn't running.
Right, but he's preventing it from starting. Letting his team get a rest if they needed it.
And chances are these officials then have to officiate a JV game. So they send, I tell you, which realistically, a hold on North Attleboro will result in a turnover. But if the official is telling you to do something, and he waited a good 15, 20 seconds before calling delay of game, and you simply won't do it, you need to respect your elders, right?
Right.
I'm surprised the officials in a sport like this aren't required to wear helmets.
Yeah, they stay pretty clear. But you're right.
All it takes is a deflected shot.
Yep.
Canton looking for what could be a knockout blow.
You can see there's no rush to their offense right now. They'll certainly take an open shot, but there's no rush.
And once again, another minute killed off the clock. There's now about 10 left. North Attleboro needs a quick goal. Fighting for it, Dave Lang. Lang has had quite an afternoon. 5 goals for North Attleboro, 5 of 8. Unfortunately, his club has given up 13. And a hold will go against North Attleboro. Now the clock is stopped, and you'll see the official, much like football, call for the clock to start out by winding his arm.
Yeah, a little careless play there on the part of Kin.
Red Rocketeers long range shot from James Cummer. And we've talked about the long, oh, there's almost a great steal. Would have resulted, I'm sure, in a goal. That was Tyler Zarambovich for the Red Rocketeers. Slashing. It will be slashing. So going off for 30 seconds will be Nick O'Connor. And although Canton wants to milk the clock as much as possible, the last thing they want is to be shorthanded, and this will be the second time this quarter they've been shorthanded.
Yeah, and you know, that happens when you start slowing down. When I think slow down, I think keep the same tempo and make more passes. But most people think slow down means physically slow down, and then you're really in trouble.
Save once again made by Devin Costa.
You really have to practice this quite a bit, so you keep that tempo. There's the screen.
Now you'll really see them try to milk the clock.
Yep.
Well, I'm always saying to our good friend Martin Grealish when we're televising soccer, this is what I would do to improve the game. To improve the game of lacrosse. 30 seconds just isn't long enough for a power play.
Nope.
It's really, you basically get one attack and that's it.
Yes. And every time we recommend changes to Martin, the traditionalist he is.
Delayed penalty will go against the Red Rocketeers here. And shot, an elbow will be called against Reed Holden. And you'll see it coming up. Yeah,
Yeah, he retaliated a little bit.
that's a no-no.
Yep.
And I'm sure Reed will be told that.
Oh, I bet he will. You know, but you look at the rules of the games, though, Peter. The people, the rules committees, the people that work on changing rules, so much thought goes into it.
One of the Canton moms just coming over asking us how much time was left. I'd guesstimate probably about 8.5 minutes as Canton scores their 14th goal. That one by number 20, J.C. Marconi, his third goal of the afternoon. And not to sound like a pessimist, Dell, but Red Rocketeers might be done in this one.
It's going to be tough. They've got to see the heads high now. Got to see the heads. Everyone's got to step up and do their little part. Nothing spectacular. Just pick up the intensity. Got to stop the Canton attack and launch one of their own.
Red Rocketeers come up with it, then turn it over. Ball still on the turf. Fought for. Oh, there's a big hit. And the Red Rocketeers starting to lose their composure right here.
Yep.
The cross check will be called against Nick Allen. You'll see it coming up. You'll see him come into the picture right there.
Yep.
Led with the shoulder.
Parents felt it was a good hit.
Would you expect otherwise?
Nope.
Well, the North parents did. The Canton
Yeah.
parents thought it was illegal.
Yeah.
That's illegal.
Got to protect the student athlete, not the score.
And not that the score matters, but if the Red Rocketeers keep committing those type of penalties, they're going to get blown out in this one. But then again, there's a goal.
Yep.
And that one, I believe, while they were shorthanded, correct?
Yes.
No? It's very close.
So they'll stay shorthanded.
On the goal for the Red Rocketeers, Dave Lang, his 6th goal. 6 of 9.
Yeah. Kind of guy you'd like to have on your team, huh, Peter?
Absolutely. And a timeout will be called here. I have no idea how much time's left. My guess would be about 7.5 minutes.
And you're usually right, so I would not offer an alternative time.
So Del Malloy, from what you've seen, first look at the Red Rocketeers this season, how might they improve?
Get more passing into the offensive attack rather than moving with the ball. Don't pull that defense, you know, really work hard. They want to pull that defense out on you when you're on defense. Go out and trap them, be aggressive. Just you force the pace. It looks sometimes that North is reacting to the pace, not setting it themselves. And that's hard. That's really hard. That's playing the game at a very high level.
So 14-9. Now as Del mentioned, no lead is ever safe enough in lacrosse. And you saw how quickly North scored that goal. And it'll be interesting to see whether or not they can come back with a second. If they do, then this
got a
one
game.
could go down to the wire.
Yeah, I think Canton, the coach is probably telling them, we need 2. 3 would make me happy, 2 would make me feel okay. Just can't sit back on this.
Bulldogs, a 5-goal cushion. A little more than halfway. A little more than half of this. That one off the side. A little more than half the fourth quarter remaining, I was trying to say. I thought that was a goal at first, and that's what threw me.
Yeah, it looked it.
The official yelling over to the Red Rocketeer player, Paul Powell, you need to wait for my whistle. And there's the whistle, because the whistle starts the clock.
Okay, we've seen a mini shift in momentum to North.
Oh, a breakaway opportunity, but the Red Rocketeers unable to connect. North Attleboro could make this a 4-goal game with a score here. Little flip pass to James Cummer. Canton unable to gain possession. Red Rocketeers still fighting for it.
Well, they're playing slow down and North's playing speed up. Yeah, the slow downs are, you got to be careful with them.
Not sure what the call was there, but Canton will get possession back. Approximately 6 minutes left. North needs offense, a lot of it, and by all means cannot give up a goal. Canton will take their time. Shot will be wide. And they determine that Canton keeps possession. Boy, the sun went down and the temperature really dropped.
Oh, it did.
Nice cut there. Save made by Colton Williamson. That one might leave a mark.
It probably will.
Nice play by Young, keeping that pass alive. Scramble for it.
Yeah.
Canton had possession, did not realize they did, turned it over. Ball still loose. Here comes an opportunity for the Red Rocketeers. Oh, wide open end. Oh, missing was Brian Sieber. I think he might have been surprised at just how open he was.
I think I know what he'll be dreaming about tonight. You don't see many opportunities like that.
I know on my diet I'm dreaming of a big extra cheese pizza. There's a goal by Pat Ward. And that one should do it. And again, we said that earlier.
Yep.
So his 5th goal, Pat Ward. For North Attleboro, David Lang with 6 goals.
Did I tell you the extra cheese pizza is part of my diet? I just have one.
So Canton on top by 6, 16-9. 15-9, my mistake.
Yep. See, this is much better. They're just passing the ball, taking a move towards the goal. If the defense shows up, get it back out again.
Shot wide, the Canton player closest
Yep.
to the ball, so therefore they will keep possession.
They spread it so much, it's a hard attack to double team.
Bulldogs working the clock with a 6-goal lead. It's not exciting, but it is effective.
Yes.
This would be similar to four corners.
It would be.
In basketball. Save made by...
So I'm glad to see that go.
Yes. Colton Williamson with the save. North Attleboro looking to possibly get that goal back. Nice little scoop pass. One more pass. Red Rocketeers looking for an additional cutter. No one there. Taking it in himself was Brian Sieber. Shot wide. Red Rocketeers come away with it. Sean Young. And yet another save by Devin Costa. Tell you, if we had a player of the game, it would be Devin Costa. And there's a penalty.
Yeah, I think we got a big time slash here. What's this?
That little thing?
Yeah, that little thing would have had me on the ground crying my eyes out.
And a timeout will be called. And I would think, Dell, this would be what is known as a teaching timeout, possibly?
Could be. Could be.
Because at this point, I can't imagine there's strategy to overcome a 6-goal deficit with a couple of minutes left.
Yeah, it's tough. And Canton's got a great attack. The spacing is phenomenal. You can't double team them. They see it coming because their heads are up and they pass it out, and they've got North running all over the place defensively.
I said it before, I'll say it again. How is this Canton team only 3-6?
Wow.
Don't let the record fool you.
Nope. And play every game.
Some of the fans bundled up. Yeah, it was actually quite warm when I got out of my car this afternoon with my black jacket. And not anymore, I'll tell you.
No.
Couple of minutes left. Canton on their way to a 4-6 record. North will drop to 6-5. And each and every game so important. You need to finish 500 or better. I can't remember at looking at the North schedule if they play 18 games or 20 games, but let's say for argument's sake it's 18 games. Well, they went into this game needing to win 3 of their remaining 8. And then if they lose this game, it would be 3 of their remaining 7. And if you lose another one, then you start to feel the pressure.
Yes, you would. But these are real important coaching moments. I mean, the North Attleboro coach can do wonders with this team. You got to keep them going, and you got to pull some things out in practice, maybe that address these issues, the issues he sees, not what we see, and build their confidence and build their skill level and their cohesiveness. Anyone can coach a win.
We will see the Red Rocketeers in their season finale North scoring. It was Brian Sieber. His second goal of the afternoon. We will see the Red Rocketeers in their season finale. Hopefully their regular season finale, not their season finale, when they host the crossover game on May 21st, a Monday at 5:30. The girls play at 3:30 at home in a crossover game. The boys play at 5:30 in a crossover game. And North TV will televise both of those games. You won't be here, Del, for that, right? You're in Indianapolis?
I think I am here for that.
I thought that was the week you go to the NCAA convention, or was it the 22nd you can't make, the next day?
Right.
There was a penalty against the Bulldogs. And you can see it coming up right there, right across the face.
Yeah, that would drive the coach crazy.
So a 30-second power play. You'll have to check your schedule, because I thought you said you could not make those games. Brings out the iPhone. Closing minutes of this one. North Attleboro scores again. It's a 4-goal game, 15 to 11. David Lang now with 7 goals. 7 of the 11. That's pretty impressive.
I'll say.
You need one of those iPhones that talks to you, Dale.
Oh, that would scare me. You might tell me the truth.
Not sure how much time's left, but if North can throw another goal into the net here, Canton crowd will get anxious. And there's the man to do it, Dave Lang. He's had the golden touch. There it is, 15-12. Now just a field goal away.
Yep. I will be here on the 22nd.
21st, you're not here.
No, the meeting that was supposed to go 22-23 was moved to 23-24.
Oh, okay. So you will not be here for the Attleboro North baseball game. Or the Fian North baseball game on that Tuesday. I'm all confused, though.
Yeah, my meeting is Wednesday, Thursday.
Oh, so you don't miss a thing?
No.
How about that? So another timeout, and this one I can understand, because now all of a sudden, hey, guys, what's happening?
And the Canton coach is saying, guys, keep playing.
Well, do you find at times when you try to slow your team down, you end up taking all the momentum away
Absolutely.
from them?
And that's why I say, you know, you don't slow them down. You teach them how to keep your tempo, but do it patiently. You look for stellar opportunities, where in the normal flow you'd look for opportunity. But you got to keep playing at that rhythm. You don't want to have to reteach things the next day.
So 15-12. Canton now holding on to a 3-goal lead. And I still haven't heard the 2 minutes yet. Possession at this point so important.
Yes, it is.
Red Rocketeers flip it in. And here we go. Oh! Shot by Lang. It's 15-13.
Well, you can score in a hurry in lacrosse.
You think so? Tell you, Red Rocketeers might lose this game, but it'll be a case of they ran out of time.
Yeah.
And you can tell a very young Canton team is rattled at this point.
You may see why Canton has the record they have.
Violation against the Red Rocketeers will be costly, because Canton will be able to work some clock. And at this point, every second is precious.
Yep.
Red Rocketeers steal it away. Red Rocketeers, here's Lang. It's a one-goal game, 15-14.
Well, what do you think, Peter? Anyone watching lacrosse for the first time today has become a fan.
And yet another timeout being taken. And the question is, how much time is there? They need one of those clocks like they have for field hockey where you can see across the way, the clock counting down.
Yeah. Well,
this is one of the other reasons why artificial turf, and I know it's simply a matter of dollars and cents, but artificial turf at the Raymond E. Beaupre Jr. Field, you'd be able to play the games on that field and be able to keep the clock on the scoreboard so everyone in attendance knows what's going on.
Exactly.
What a comeback.
Yeah.
Now, how does it work? If they finish tied, they then play a 12-minute extra period? Crew just moaned in my ear.
Yeah.
Moaned and groaned.
Maybe it's a 30-minute extra period. No sudden death.
Like they do at the World Cup. What an afternoon for David Lang.
You know, Peter, I believe that if momentum is a powerful force in a game, if North scores again real quick, like they'll score another one.
Well, the question is, how much time can be left?
I know it.
See, if I were an official, I would yell over to, there's a minute 40 left, so everyone in attendance would know. I mean, that's just a courtesy.
Yep.
Not required to do so, mind you. Canton the violation, so the Red Rocketeers a chance to tie this one up. And apparently that was it.
Yeah.
The shot was taken with about 2 seconds left on the clock. The shot by David Lang deflected by Devin Costa, and that did it. Del, that was exciting.
It was a great lacrosse match. You know, you saw Canton charge out early, North come back, Canton go again, North come back. It's just what you want to see.
Yeah, it was a good one. Red Rocketeers unfortunately fall to 6-5. Fortunately for the Canton Bulldogs, they improved to 4-6. The producer and director of this telecast and all of North TV Sports is Chris Miller. Lauren Carpenter was on replay. Megan Miller was actually busy this afternoon on graphics. Our camera people, where are they? Bruce Houghton, Jeff Carr, and Michelle Lucier. For Del Malloy, I'm Peter Gay. Thanks for watching North TV.